E and F to order.
You got mine.
Counselor Hargis, you pray them in.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, for the beautiful weather that you have blessed us with. We just ask for your guidance in this meeting, Lord, and pray that all minds will be in one accord. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Shelley, would you do our roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Denise Taylor.
Here.
Keith Austin.
Here.
Joel Engelman.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard. Joe Byrd.
Honey.
Sean Crittenden. Don Garvin. Frankie Hargis.
Present.
Wanda Hatfield. Rex Jordan. Dick White.
Here.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
David Thornton.
Here.
Victoria Vasquez.
Here.
David
Oh.
Walkenstick. Ryan Warner. We do have a quorum.
All right, you got a copy of the minutes in your packet. I'd entertain a motion that,
Make a motion to be approved.
got a motion and a second to approve the minutes from February 17th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Brings us down to committee reports, and Sean Slayton is up first.
Good afternoon. Well, I'm reporting on January. Financial report. It was a great month. Net income of $11.5 million, and it was $2.7 million ahead of what we had forecasted on our budget. And even better, it was $3 million higher than the previous year. So continue to see strong results both in gaming and hospitality, and a lot of growth and profitability coming out of our diversified businesses. Really happy to see that. Year to date, we're well ahead of budget and well ahead of last year, so things continue to look good. On the short term for gaming, to this point, we haven't been affected by the turn in the oil and gas industry. But as a cautionary note, as we move closer to the third quarter and fourth quarter of our fiscal year here, we may begin to see some of the trickle-down effects of the job losses in the Tulsa community and the energy sector. So we continue to be cautiously optimistic, but know that won't maintain this accelerated growth rate here through the second or third and fourth quarter. Historically, the second quarter, which is what we're in, January, February, and March are our biggest months, and April is good, then May, June, July kind of seem to tail. So very happy about what we're doing now, and just hope that it continues as well. A little update on our construction projects. We're wrapping up all the clinics, working through the punch list. We have a groundbreaking, or not a groundbreaking, but a ribbon cutting, for the J Clinic. I drove by there when we went up to Grove the other day, and it looks spectacular on the outside. I didn't get to walk through the inside yet, but looking forward to doing that. I appreciate from all the council your patience throughout that construction cycle. We had some dings and pains, but I think when you look at the end result, it's a great thing for the Cherokee Nation, and we were glad to be part of that, happy to be part of that. And we learned a lot as well, too. Next door, Outpost 1, I hope you've had a opportunity to walk through that new store that we opened. You have to go in through the back entrance. They've done a great job there. It looks good, and I can't wait for you to see what we have planned out front. And I'll just leave it at that and let that develop. Right now we're waiting on our test results back from the EPA so we can get started with pulling the tanks, and should be able to do that starting Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. The plaza, Cherokee Plaza down there, is coming along. If you've been by there, it's a busy activity site, and we have received authorization to sign 2 more leases down there, and sometime in the near future here, we'll be able to announce who those tenants are, although they're probably the worst-kept secret around. And I can't confirm or deny them, but I think we'll be happy with what ends up there on those two leases. And then last night, I'm sure all of you are aware, I think Amanda sent out a notice that we had some damage there at Claremore at WRD. We had some barns that were damaged, some roofs lifted off. We had 2 horses that were injured. One had to be euthanized. I'm not sure it was related to an injury, but ended up having to be euthanized. And today they are working on the cleanup. Insurance companies out there. We were very fortunate. There was no casino damage or anything like that. We had people in there. We were under our storm warnings and things, but we were fortunate that the thing stayed south of the casino there by a few hundred yards. And happy with the response from the team at WRD and our corporate people. Really appreciative of Tulsa County and the fairgrounds today. They reached out to us early and loaned us some of their equipment to roll the track and roll all the area. Actually, it's an 8-foot magnet to try to pick up as many nails and screws that might have come off the roof as we could, so that the horses didn't step on them and have some issues there. The track's closed until Monday. Cleanup's underway. And then hopefully Monday we'll be back open for racing. We did have 20 horses that were displaced due to the barn damage, the stall damage, but we've juggled some things around. Some of the trainers offered to free up some of their stalls. And this is a good effort, cooperation by all parties up there to this point. So again, we're just thankful it wasn't any worse than what it was. That's my report today. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Counselor Buzzard?
Sean, I've seen where the outlet mall, just a little ways from our place there, had withdrawn. Doesn't give us any more ups on the outlet mall that we're,
Well, there's 2 standing, 2 left
is that right?
standing. That's
Okay.
Simon down at Jinx
okay.
and us. We actually had our developer there yesterday at the board meeting. Some of the council was here to hear his take on where things are. He spent probably 45 minutes doing that and then taking and answering any questions that either our board or the advisory members had. And again, all that is in executive session and it's confidential, but he remains optimistic that at some point we will end up with our mall. And that's probably about all I should say about that. He was scheduled to come up and update the board anyway, and then the day before, they made the announcement about Horizon, and so he kind of went into that a little bit too. But instead of 3, now there's 2, and the one is a formidable foe in the industry. It's the giant, so we're still battling for tenants.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Counselor Warner?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Madam Chair. Sean, what's the, down at the Redbird Clinic, what's the status of the parking lot out there? Are they gonna have to redo that again, or?
Well, I haven't heard it, Brian, if they are.
Okay.
You know, we redid it
Right.
for the second time or
Right.
first time,
Okay,
and I haven't heard that there were any
okay.
problems.
All right.
Are you hearing different?
Well, somebody had said something that they thought, and I thought, well, they asked me. if
I
could
think
find
there was a
out.
little section on one of the ends
Right.
that they didn't fix.
Okay.
And they hoped that this would
Okay.
address it.
Right.
If it didn't, they may have to come back and fix that part.
All
So
right.
maybe that's what we're talking
That's
about.
probably it. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we're good. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. We'll see you next month.
Will.
Okay, so next up is gonna be Lacey Horn.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. I have good news today, and I'm very happy to announce that Cherokee Nation has a new bank to provide our treasury services. And I had previously spoken to a few of you counselors and talking about what our bank fees were, and I misspoke. We were previously paying $65,000 a month to bank. And so we've secured a new agreement that it's only going to cost us $3,000 a month to bank. So applause goes to my team, my treasury team, and to the bank for working with us. We've really had a bit of a learning curve here with a whole new system, but I appreciate this body for taking action on the act that we passed back in September that allows us to modernize our treasury services and save money, and that's paramount to us. We wrapped up our fiscal year 15 audit yesterday, and the printed copies will be delivered to council this afternoon. And so, again, we had another clean audit, very clean, and our auditors should be here next meeting in April to answer any questions you might have and present what we hope might be the single audit issuance at that time. I just want to remind council that the deadline for surplus equipment requests is Monday, April the 4th. So there's a listing with Gail, and if you haven't seen it, make some requests, please. We'd love to send that out to the community. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Anybody have anything for Lacey? I just want to express my appreciation for the negotiations that you have made, not just on our banking fees, but other things that you have done. I know it is a team effort, but I've always felt like you thought of it as your money, and nobody watches their money, like you do, and so I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councilor Walkenstick.
Hey, what bank are we banking with?
Bank of Oklahoma.
Bank of Oklahoma.
So our money's going to stay local.
Okay. And is that the same bank that we're doing the clinic with as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
They saved us a lot of money.
Yes, indeed. Councilor Vasquez.
Yes, I just wanted to make a comment and say I'm so happy to see this donation of one of my mother's pieces of
Yes.
pottery. I know the donor, we go to the same church, and if I couldn't have that piece of pottery, you were such a choice, so I'm glad that you got it.
We were excited to see that come through.
Take good care of it.
We will.
All right. That's all. We'll move on. Thank you, Lacey. Where's Diane? Or did Diane send somebody? Come on up.
Mrs. Kelly sends her regrets. She's had a death in the family, so she was unable to be here today. What I've passed out, she has asked that the policies and procedures of our summer youth program be shared with you. I believe there's been some questions, so we're providing that information.
Does anybody have any questions? If not, you got off easy. Thank you.
This will let Anna look good maybe today, right?
There we go.
You do have a copy of our report, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I did want to advise you that the Cowie Cafe has received the NAFOA, which is the Financial Officers Association, is that right? Education Program of the Year, so. Yeah, so that was exciting. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
I had one about the youth entrepreneurship. Do they have to be Native American to participate in that?
No.
Okay. Anything else for Anna? Counselor Warner?
And I've had a few questions concerning, we've got new houses at Roland. Those prices are different than the Housing Authority's original prices of what their homes were. Is there been any talks, because some of the people are concerned that it's substantially more, has there been any talks of usage of the MAP program with that?
No, I'm not aware of any talks on MAP. The one condition with MAP, though, is that the the home goes in the homeowner's name.
Right.
So it would,
Eliminate that. Okay, all right, thank you.
I'd like to make comment to that. What we have done is we've taken the availability of our people that needed housing, the ones that did not have the land. So we kind of upped it just a little bit to 2-car garage, payments probably about $650 to $700. You still got people out there that don't have land that still need houses, so I'm not for sure we addressed that gap of people that needed housing. I think is what, you know, we were talking about here. Somewhere in there, we do need to address that. Because some of our people out there just want a house. They don't have to have the nice curved guttering and all that. It's good if you're in certain areas of the country, but people I'm talking about, give them a, 1-car garage and 3 bedrooms and, maybe 1,500 square feet, and they're all right with that. So we've kind of went from one extreme to the other. Maybe somewhere we'll start addressing that, those people that really have that need out there.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for Anna? All right.
Thank you.
Brings us down to our consent items. There is a tarot list provided in your materials. You good with it, John? Good. Okay. Okay. The list is active. Thank you. Can I have a second? Have a motion and a second to accept the tarot vendors that are in the book. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Okay, you've got a new cemetery restaurant. Let's see, did we get a new one, Jody?
Not the cemetery.
Okay.
That comes from the.
So, were there any new cemetery lists? Any?
Those will be coming through community development now, so I think it's going to be
Okay,
in
so
their
we need to take
reporting
that off our
process.
agenda. Okay. Okay, so we're down to our community assistance list, which you did get a new one of those. If everybody has looked over it.
I do have one correction under Councilor Thornton. There's 2 of them for Town of Braggs, and there actually should only be 1, so he pointed that out.
Okay, and I would like to increase my donation to Verdigris from $500 to $1,000, please. And Councilor Vasquez, you have a change?
I need to add, Jody, $500 from mine to go to, I don't have the paperwork, but Curtis Hill and Harley Buzzard and I are donating for the Stomp Dance kids to go to the NMAI. So whatever that paperwork is, I'll make mine, but I want to get 500.
Okay, how much,
Yeah, it's on.
okay, you got your, okay,
Yeah, those 2 are on there, I just wrote.
okay, and you're adding 500 for it, so, okay.
Any other changes? If not, let's vote on this list with the changes.
Sorry. Sequoia High School for 500 between Chief Bird, Councilman Jordan, myself, and that's going to be designated for theater.
You got it right there.
Yes, for drama, for Sequoia drama students. Jody.
500 split 3 ways?
Yep. Attention to Sequoia drama students. That's it. Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome.
And Janice, which one were you?
That's on Verdigris for their basketball rings.
Okay.
I wanted to increase that from 500 to 1,000.
Okay.
Did they win the state?
They did.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a big deal. Okay, so with those changes, if there are no more, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, that passes. So that brings us down to law enforcement. And I guess the one that's in your book.
There's a new law enforcement
She
also.
handed us another.
Okay.
Make a motion to, second.
Okay, a motion and second to approve the law enforcement request that was handed out. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Brings us down to roads.
We have a
I think there was a
new roads list. I just printed the one-page summary, but I did verify that everybody had the funds available. And I just now see that, Janice, you have 3 E's in your name. I didn't get
Do
that.
not, I have to, oh, in this list? Okay, and I can't find my list, and I know I had one on there. I'll look at yours. Okay. So, all those in favor of the new roads list? Aye. Any opposition? Okay. Brings us to sports team funding.
There's a new sports team.
You get a new list there too.
It's front and back. Those have been really coming in this year, so we'll have to kind of keep an eye on the funding on that.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the sports team funding. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Okay. Were there any new livestock?
Yes.
Yes, here we are. We got a new sheet on that too, a couple of new ones.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the livestock funding. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposition? That carries too. Okay, there's no old business. That brings us to new business. Rex, would you take number 1, please?
Sure. A resolution authorizing the Cherokee Nation to incur indebtedness and authorizing the approval of a loan agreement and limited waiver of sovereignty immunity as part of the United States Indian Health Service joint venture expansion of the Cherokee Nation Heliquoi outpatient facility and declaring an emergency. May I put that form of motion?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Our treasurer is here, who's worked extensively on this financing package. Counselor Walkenstick has a question for you.
Yes, Treasurer Moore. On the loan agreement, I guess you said we're going through Bank of Oklahoma,
Yes.
and I know we had kind of shopped around previously for, I guess, either do a bond or to do an interest rate. What is the interest rate?
The interest rate, and
What
Randy
is-
is passing out a memo in the term sheet.
3%?
And I would like to just refer you to page
Is it 3% or?
3.
If I could, you know, when we went through the negotiation process with Bank of Oklahoma, we did it with the understanding that we would not reveal, at least into the public domain, the specific terms of the agreement.
Okay, I was just throwing a number out there.
Ballpark,
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, ballpark. So, so we don't know what we're gonna be paying them in interest yet, or we do, but it's confidential.
Correct.
Okay.
And it should be on the term sheet that was just passed out.
On the term sheet, 3, it's going to be in that first full paragraph. You'll see
What's,
it.
if we're just gonna do a bond, what's the cost of that, just ballpark?
Oh, millions of dollars.
What are we talking? So it's 170 million is what we're financing, right?
Correct.
So how much, ballpark on a bond, what would that cost? 7 million, 8 million?
Probably.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Yes.
Thanks, Speaker, Chairwoman.
Yeah, the fees are significantly reduced in doing a direct loan versus doing a bond.
Okay. Any other questions on this? This is an important piece of legislation.
I'd just like to make a comment. I thank you, commend you guys for really negotiating this deal because, you know, with the assurance from the government, IHS, also not having collateralized anything, that really goes a long ways. That means we can save our cash flow and make other investments. So you guys did a good job in this negotiation.
Thank you.
Counselor Lay?
I'd like to be added as a sponsor, please.
Okay. Counselor Garvin?
I just wanted to ask about the other banks, how many other banks were in the bidding process or consulting process?
Well, being that we have a relationship currently with Bank of Oklahoma on our other 2 debt issuances, it made sense just to go directly to them.
Talk to the one.
Yes.
For 1 year, left out all the others.
Yes. And Mr. Garvin, I will say that the reason that we went directly to Bank of Oklahoma is because we have collateralized all of our third-party revenue. So we really don't have ability to go out and borrow from anybody free and clear as is. So we had the discussion with them first and foremost to see if they'd be interested. And they were, and I think what you see in front of you is a very, very good deal for us, very favorable for us.
You don't know if there's a better deal out there than close.
I would say that this is probably, I'll let Chief go into it. Oh, that's correct. So Taro Banks will be participating in this. They will be given an invitation to participate, meaning that of the proceeds of this loan, there's probably going to be about 5 banks that contribute to the loan, but Bank of Oklahoma will be the administrative agent for the loan.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Counselor Buzzard, did you have a question, or did you just
No,
want to be added as a
sponsor.
sponsor? Okay, is there anybody else that wants to be added as a sponsor? Counselor Baker?
Counselor Thornton.
Thornton? Counselor Anglin? Counselor Hatfield? Counselor Snell? Got everybody? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
This does include the payoff of Muskogee Clinic.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that's correct.
We will call the bonds back in December when that option comes around.
We'll call bonds back.
And
Benita as well, right?
Benita as well?
We have an option to repay back Veneta with this, but we're currently waiting to see what the pricing of the facility construction would be and what the interest rates look like going forward.
What was the debt in Muskogee Clinic?
We have 15 million outstanding at, at Muskogee, 12.6 is outstanding, and on Veneta, we have 15 million outstanding.
Can you go over the closing costs, or is that confidential?
I think
I
so.
think that would be a confidential term.
Confidential.
We could go over that on an individual.
But I can show
Let me thank
you.
you for the closing costs.
That's fair enough.
I can show you, Counselor, it's again on page 3, and it's under arrangement fee.
A whole lot better than bonds, I'll tell you.
You're exactly right, millions of dollars cheaper than bonding.
Yeah. We started to go bonds, it just didn't add up.
Counselor Wilkenstick, did you have another question or comment?
Yeah, I haven't been educated on this, and I know we're not in the business to lose the money. I thought it'd be a lot cheaper interest, the interest rate would, but if someone could educate me on why, and Doug Evans has, he said, hey, he said this is a good rate, this is good, but what's cheaper, a bond or this interest? Oh, okay. Do we go into executive session? I need some.
Well, we would be prohibited from going to executive session. We had a series of meetings to go over the details of this, to make sure all the counselors were brought up to date and answer any questions they had. Also, and your questions are pertinent and they're appropriate. In this instance, we will be happy to speak with you individually. We have confidentiality agreements about going into the details. As to the interest rates, I will tell you, though, that the interest rate that was negotiated is below industry standard. It is an uncollateralized loan that we could go to any bank or attempt to go to any bank, and we would not be able to, in my opinion, get the same type of deal that we've got, and precisely because of the business relationship we've had with Bank of Oklahoma and will continue to have. Counselor, we're happy to answer any questions that you have. We just can't do that in open session. And under our Constitution, we have very, very limited instances in which we can go to executive session.
And this isn't one of those?
This is not one of them.
do that first.
I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark. All right, thank you, Chair.
Any other questions or comments? Counselor Lay?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This takes care of no audit, takes it off of the situation, is that correct?
The bond issuance went to construct the Muskogee facility, upgrades there at Newata, and the Salisaw Annex. So yes, it does.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we ready to vote?
Yes, got a motion, second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, motion passes. Thank you,
Thank
Lacey.
you.
We appreciate your work on it. Counselor Austin, would you do number 2, please?
Yes, this is an act amending legislative
Testimony,
act
boys, make
16-15, authorizing the comprehensive capital budget for fiscal year 2016, Mod 2, and declaring an emergency, and I move for its passage.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the budget modifications. Are there any questions for Jody Reese? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Frankie, would you do number 3?
Sure. This is an act amending legislative act 17-15, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2016, Mod 6, and declaring an emergency. I put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Motion, second.
Motion and a second on the operating budget. Any questions on that? Okay, all those in favor?
All right. I'll go ahead.
Any opposition?
I have a question for Marshall Lamb.
She'll be back on the 11th.
Well, is this the youth grants, are they gonna be available? Since we just put money back in there.
Do it. Yeah. Hang around, Marcia.
He wants to
Counselor
ask you a
Walkenstick
question
would like to
I
speak
wanna know
with
if you
you.
can find me Fanning, but we'll talk about that later.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.